Guys, a very, very, very common exercise that I see people do all the time is the split squat, but for very, very good reasons. It's a very, very helpful exercise in developing adductor strength, glute strength, a lot of stability. You're also, due to the nature of creating a lot of knee flexion, going to develop quad strength. But we've got to remember that in the grand scheme of training program design, is somebody actually strong enough in the early days of training to do the exercise perfectly? Now, where should it be placed in the training process? It has its place, 100%. I think it's a phenomenal exercise. But when most people are coming to the gym, potentially overweight, definitely not very strong, putting all of your body weight through one leg, straight off the bat, when most people are very, very tight, most people don't have the mobility, I'm going to put this to you. Is it right? Now, most people, when you see them coming in the gym, need to not feel stupid, need to feel exercises when they do them, because we want them to stay with us a particular period of time, but everything needs to be progressional. Now, let's look at the muscles that are involved in the split squat. You've got the adductors, the glute med, glute max and hip extension, the quads and the hamstrings. Because from this position here, I'm getting knee flexion, which is going to involve the quad. I'm getting hip flexion, which is going to involve the glutes and the stretching of the hamstrings. Glute max, glute med, adductors. Now these muscles, with everyone that we train who is new to training, are very, very weak, very unstable, especially around the hips and the glutes. So this is what you normally see. Okay, that's what we normally see. To me, it's like a baby giraffe trying to stand up. Now, the more somebody's all over the place, they are, one, feel stupid, two, they are not zoning in on the right muscles because the loading's too heavy. And I talk about this over and over again. Execution of an exercise, you should be able to initiate, maintain perfect tension throughout the whole exercise before you develop any level of strength or build a level of strength on at any degree. So if you then put full body weight through one leg, not only is somebody not able to initiate properly, they're not able to maintain tension effectively, they're more likely to injure themselves and learn a faulty pattern of how to work. So here's something for you. I'm going to take you through what it should look like, but I'm going to suggest something. When people have done glute exercises, individual adductor exercises, individual quad exercises, hamstring exercises to build up foundational strength, would it then not make the right sense to place the split squat maybe 3 weeks down the line, 4 weeks down the line, or once all the muscles are fired up properly later on into a workout? Because if you put it into a workout right at the beginning, when people's muscles are not engaged and they're not fired up and they're not strong, you have a recipe for somebody not being able to make much progress. So this is what happens to people who aren't strong. All you see in the gym is this. Okay? Now all they're doing is rocking forwards and backwards. I see this many times. Then the next week they add dumbbells. Now, what they've got there is everything's trying to slow them down eccentrically. There is no way they can do an eccentric contraction, and most of the loading is placed on the back toe or the front toe and very minimal through the muscles that are actually required to do the job. So this is what I'm looking for. You don't necessarily need your leg all the way back because, especially with flexibility for most people, we're looking for a loading over the hip, a contraction of all the muscles around the hip, the glutes, the hamstrings, the quads, and then we're looking for a drive back over the back toe, over the front toe. So we go over the front, drop, and squeeze all the way back. Now, for 99% of the people trying to do that exercise for the first time, it's impossible to contract those muscles. So, step one for the exercise, consider where it should go for somebody within their programming, build up adequate strength in the muscles that need to be developed first, and then bring it in the most appropriate time. One thing I always say to people about training is, If you bring an exercise in for the first time at the right time, it looks right. If you bring an exercise in for the first time at the wrong time, it looks a car crash. And that's the most important thing I want you to take away from this video. Split squats have a great place in training, but bring them in at the most appropriate time.